Showtime! The capital G show starts right now.
For an anime series that generally sways away from showing its major protagonists in romantic relationships, there sure are a lot of love triangles in Yu-Gi-Oh! Situations where the main or an important character has a clear and heavily implied romantic interest, but another character shows up and tries to steal away our best boy. Now, since none of the main protagonists are in defined romantic relationships, we'll have to use common sense and go on the general consensus of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community. In this video, I'll be cataloging my favorite characters whose feelings, actions, and appearance in the anime essentially led to a love triangle involving a major character. Now, just to be clear, the feelings can be one-sided and completely unrequited as long as this new character served as a romantic rival to another. Also, I won't be limiting this to just love triangles involving main protagonists or even protagonists at all. Lastly, we're talking about the anime series here, so of course a spoiler warning is now in effect. Number 1, Rebecca Hawking's Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters. When Rebecca first debuted in Yu-Gi-Oh! DM, she looked young enough to still be in grade school, and as if getting a boyfriend was the last thing on her mind. She did spend an entire duel holding a teddy bear after all. I'm guessing the whole "I'm just a cute little 8-year-old girl" act wasn't working for the writers or for her character, since she was 8 years old in the dub, by the way. When she reappeared in season 4 during the Awaken the Dragons arc, she was like a completely different person. Not only did she start resembling a preteen in appearance, but her personal feelings towards Yugi went from mild annoyance to darling and that's my boyfriend. Displaying this type of affection, of course, instantly put her at odds with Taya, who through the course of the anime shows various signs of romantic feelings for Yugi as well. What I like most about Rebecca is she doesn't limit herself to just quarreling with Taya for Yugi. She's actually down to battle it out with anyone who looks at Yugi, and I mean that from a literal standpoint. During the Grand Championship arc, a minor character named Vivian Wong is introduced into the show, and within 30 seconds instantly starts flirting with Yugi. This predictably pisses off Rebecca, who immediately tells her off, thus leading to an incredibly hostile duel between Vivian and Rebecca just a few episodes later. The duel itself is actually pretty magnificent, as the sparks really fly and the gloves definitely come off. Number 2, Blair Flanigan / Rei Sayotomi Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. So when I was thinking about GX, I immediately thought about the crush Blair had on Jaden, but as I went back and rewatched some of the episodes, I realized this girl had the hots for like half the upperclassmen at Duel Academy. When she's first introduced into the show, most of the characters, including members of the faculty like Professor Banner, actually think that she's a boy. Later in that episode, Jaden catches her sneaking into Zane's room, where Blair simply wants to be close to Zane's cards because she's secretly in love with him. Not gonna lie, this was totally weird, a tad bit cringy, and somewhat stalker-like. Anyways, by the end of the episode, after having of all things a romantic duel versus Jaden, she's largely forgotten about Zane and now refers to Jaden as her darling. Be advised, gentlemen, this girl is as fickle as they come, and this can be proven by the fact that she even gives Chaz the googly eyes after he defeats her in a duel to win the Gen X tournament in season 2. I guess she was completely overtaken by his coolness, or maybe that millionaire rich boy Chaz it up charm. Regardless, most of these characters happen to be focused on other romantic interests during GX. Who am I kidding? It's really just Alexis. So I guess you could say that Blair's appearance, in theory, creates some semblance of a love triangle, whether it be Chaz Alexis and herself or Jaden Alexis and herself. Number 3, Mina Simmons / Mikage Sagiri Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. For 5Ds, I could have actually chosen Mina or Stephanie, the waitress at Jack's favorite cafe. She has a huge crush on him too, but she's too scared to talk to him every time he goes there. If you've never seen 5Ds, you should know that Jack Atlas gets all the ladies, and they don't seem to get along too well with each each other. I guess you could say that it's good to be the king. Mina is Rex Godwin's secretary and is largely tasked with watching over Jack. She basically becomes his personal assistant and falls in love with him. Typical rom-com stuff. While it becomes incredibly clear during the Dark Signers arc that Jack's main girl is Carly, it doesn't stop other ladies like Mina from having feelings for King Atlas. To Mina's credits, however, unlike other ladies on this list, she's at least self-aware and fully recognizes that Jack actually likes Carly.
どうしてこのサテライトに？
俺に質問するな。
やはりあのカーリーのことが。嫌です。私はアトラス様が。
言うな、安いぞ。俺はあいつに借りがある。だから、もしあいつが苦しんでいるのなら、俺はどんな手を使ってでも助けてやる。
This causes Mina and Carly often to clash with each other when they're around Jack as they battle for his affection. Oh boy, poor Mina. She should have really never let Jack go on that date to the amusement park with Carly. Well, at least she gets him in the PSP game. Number 4, Anna Kaboom / Anna Kazoki, Yugioh Zetsu. Just like Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's, Zetsu is a show where one of the main male characters is surrounded by multiple girls who like him. It's like a mini harem. I could have just as easily chosen Kathy Catherine for this slot, but Anna's somewhat relationship and romance with Yuma is far more interesting. When Anna debuts on Zetsu, she initially tries to kill Yuma and Kitori. She fires exploding rockets at them from atop a nearby building, very much like what you'd expect from a professional hit job, at least the ones you see in the movies. She didn't really have anything against Kitori, she was just collateral damage. Now you might be wondering what exactly was driving this insane female duelist to jump straight to first degree murder.
決まってるぜ。復讐だよ。復讐？つくも言うな。俺はお前のことが。はあ？だからお前のことが。
Well, it seems that Anna had a huge crush on Yuma when they were younger and would often play mean practical jokes on him to express her feelings of love. She was very upset when he didn't reciprocate those feelings and even went so far as to swear revenge on him. After working out her anger towards Yuma in a very volatile and hostile duel, she soon comes to learn that she actually had him mixed up with a completely different boy. Yep, that's just how crazy this chick is. Anyways, after a couples duel where she sacrifices herself to help him win, to add even more unbelievable craziness to this story, she actually discovers that she does indeed like him. Personally, I thought this was mind-blowing because, as I said earlier, she literally tried to kill Yuma in a blind rage just one season prior to this. Number 5, Aura Cynthia / Meru Hochan, Yu-Gi-Oh! Art V. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've officially entered textbook Tsundere territory. Tsundere is a Japanese term for a character development process that depicts a person who is initially cold and sometimes even hostile before gradually showing a warmer, friendlier side over time. Thank you, Wikipedia. This summarizes Meru's character arc perfectly. Meru is a fortune teller who goes to the Uno fortune telling school, which honestly looks more like some sort of cult or something than it actually does a school. Initially overwhelmed by the idea of finally meeting her fated person, as she calls it, Meru absolutely lives to romanticize the idea of falling in love. She's immediately disappointed and borderline enraged by the fact that her said fated person is Yuya Sakaki. Before and during their duel, she physically attacks him, yells at him, and verbally assaults him, but in typical textbook Tsundere fashion, by the end of their duel, she's completely smitten by Yuya. After this, not only does she recognize him as her fated person, but even starts referring to him as darling for the remainder of the show. She goes as far as to even drop out of the Youth Miami City tournament when she hears that Yuya is in danger. See, and you thought Change Your Heart was just a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Number 6, Naoki Shima, Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains. Bet you didn't see this one coming now, did you? I never said that the character had to be a female to be included on the list. Full disclosure, Vrains didn't have a ton in terms of romantic storylines, so I really had to scrape the bottom of the barrel for this. The primary reason for that, at least when it comes to the main character Yusaku Fujiki, is his incredibly aloof and introverted personality, which makes it difficult to write a romance for this guy in the first place. Anyways, it's hinted at during the show that a possible romantic relationship could eventually take place with the main female lead character, Aoi Zaizen. This is backed up by their in real life hand-holding moment in the park where they first met. But best girl Aoi had better look out, because the most annoying character in this show could, and I must specify with a capital C, could have a huge crush that could be a big threat to that. In Brains, Naoki sees Yosaku's alter ego, Playmaker, as his hero and pretty much idolizes him. But in one specific scene, it's somewhat implied that he might even have a crush on Playmaker. In my opinion, it felt like it went way past admiration, and that his truest feelings were on full display. This means, and yes, I understand that it didn't actually happen in the anime, but if Naoki ever learned of Yosaku's true identity as Aoi did, there could possibly, be a love triangle there. Again, for Yu-Gi-Oh! Reigns, this is about as good as you're going to get. Anyways, what did you guys think of my list? Were there any other love triangle characters that you would have put instead? If so, leave that in the comment section below, or whatever you thought about the video, leave it in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching as always, and subscribe if you have not already.
このトーナメント中はライバルだけどプライベートでは仲良くしてね